You ever wake up one day and think, I have this spouse, but sometimes we act more like roommates. And you're so busy in life and you're not even sure how you're holding it all together. Today we got something a little special for you. I get to interview my better three quarters, Miss Abbie Hewkin, and we are going to talk about all things life, thoughts, just interview style questions, and get some amazing insight from her because she's got a lot to share, and I can't wait for her to do that with y'all.
I'm nervous because I don't know any questions that you have.
I don't even know what I've got for you.
Okay,
So,
well, here we go.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
First podcast in the new year.
Yes.
Back to the studio.
Yep.
Here we are.
Love it.
Super glad that you guys are with us. So, Ab, I want to talk with you. I want to get insights. I tell you all the time that I think you have such great insights to share with people, but you always feel like your insights aren't that great. And I'm here to tell you, and the audience is as well, how awesome it is to get insight from you because you have a wealth of knowledge, and I just wish you would share it with more people. So I'm interviewing you today, and you're going to share your knowledge with people so that they can benefit from it.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Thank you. Yes.
All right. So first question. Welcome to the Natural Parents Podcast, where we will cover all things faith, health, family, and wealth through a biblical perspective of putting things in life that matter most back into order. We're reminded in Matthew 6:33, where Jesus said, "But seek first the kingdom of God and all of his righteousness, and all of these things will be added unto you." Join us each week as we focus on what truly matters most in this life and passing those values on to the next generation. This is the Natural Parents Podcast with Ryan and Abbie Hewkin. All right, so Ab, how long have we been married for?
It'll be 12 years this year.
Does that make us resident experts? For anybody less than 12 years, right?
Yeah, I guess expert is...
Stick around if you've been married for longer than 12 years. There'll be something in here for
like
you.
that anniversary dance.
Too. Yeah. Yeah. At the weddings, like see who has been married the longest or whatever. One day I think we're shooting for that, 60 plus club. I feel like that's where everybody,
Oh yeah.
like you hear a 60 plus club, you're like, whoa, they've been at it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I mean, obviously times things get tough. Like I said, we joke all the time, like, are we roommates? Are we business partners? Oh wait, no, we are married, all those things. So,
yes.
as far as just like, if you had to put your finger on it, is there a lesson you've learned about parenting through marriage? Or is there a lesson that you've learned about marriage that got way harder? Marriage got way harder or different once kids were involved? Because we were married for what, like 4 or 5 years before we had kids?
Yeah.
What do you feel like it's been like since?
Well, for one, now with our kids able to understand, eavesdrop, and now read, you can't talk about anything that you don't want them to know at all. Can't even spell it.
Had to go and teach them how to read.
Yeah, I know, right? And so I feel like the hardest thing now, is that what you're asking is the hardest thing?
Yeah, like
or what
changed? What was the biggest change in our marriage when we, obviously kids, but like what changed in our relationship once we had kids?
I feel like we had to make sure that communication was really good, but also still happened, because when you have kids, interruptions are very much a thing, and unfinished thoughts are a thing.
I didn't even know you was allowed to finish a thought.
No. Sometimes when I'm able to, I'm like, oh yeah.
You like breathe deeper?
Yes.
All of a sudden.
So I feel like there's definitely that, just the communication aspect, because it can be easy not to have good communication because you're kind of running all over the place or going or interrupted.
Yeah. I think, as to your point, communication is always a valid thing. And a lot of times where marriages break down, especially in that, as I keep joking, that roommate capacity where it's like you just go through the monotony and the mundane aspects of life, go to work, come home, rinse, repeat.
I feel like it is so easy to fall into the roommate. And especially if you are in business, have businesses together as well. It's like you also go through like, okay, roommates, but also you're my employee.
Right. Yeah.
But it's like,
Abbie's the boss. 100%.
No. And, you run through all of the things that the house needs and then the business needs. And you're like, oh yeah, hey, you good? How you?
Right. What's a dinner time conversation look like that's not interrupted and not about business?
Yes.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do we talk about? How do we do that?
Yeah. House chores, house duties. Yeah.
For sure. I think one thing that we love to discuss when it comes to that, maybe that's something that people are struggling with is just that communication barrier of like, what do we talk about at dinner when it's the kids aren't involved and things like that. I mean, we talk all the time. I feel like something that we're both big on is just like our dreams, visions, passions, pursuits, you know, all of that stuff. And I think there's a place for that in marriage, but that's a complicated thing too. Is like, how do we navigate the waters of, well, we're in this moment and we're living right now, but also we have something we want to chase after, be it together or as an individual and different stuff like that. Like,
yeah, like, are you talking about like blissful dissatisfaction?
Yes,
the
I
term
am.
that we diagnosed you with.
Yes, I have that very much so.
Ryan has this thing where it's like he is happy, but he is dissatisfied, and it's just basically he has hopes and dreams of more and more and more, and he feels that he's been led to more and to do more and serve more, and so we came across a term, and it totally fits him, and it's blissful dissatisfaction.
Thanks, Ed.
Yeah.
Ed Milet gave us that one. There's something I was going to talk about him later on today too. It's just like being parents and something to talk about. So I want to come back to that. But like, I used to apologize for that all the time. And this was a discussion. We were seeing things differently the other day. I forget what you said to me, but you were like something about contentment. And it's like, I am content. Like, I love my life. I love our children. I love what we've created. I love everything that we've done to this point in time. I really do feel like, although sometimes I have a funny way of showing it, you sometimes worry that I'm not happy because I'm just like a degree stoic, you know.
Ryan doesn't do toe touches. Like, I'm like, when I'm excited, you know it. I'm giggling. I'm squealing. Yes. I'll do toe touches. Ryan, this is his happy. And I'm like, hello, like this just, he's like, yeah, I'm thrilled.
Be happy. I'm like, I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, I need to see some toe touches out of you. And, you know, I've seen, you know, memes or whatever before that it's like, this is totally not what I mean. I just mean any item that I want him to be happy about. But a guy comes home and the wife cleaned, and it's like how my wife wants me to react to her cleaning the house all day. And it's like, oh my gosh, you did all of this. And he's doing toe touches and cartwheels. Yeah. Can't believe it. So.
Yeah. I don't know why I don't, especially then when you put the pressure on me, I'm like, oh, now I really don't know how to act. But
you can't let all that contentment just bottle up in there.
Right.
Jeez.
I am content. However, I do feel, and there are other people I know that feel the same way, that they were called for more. I mean, it's literally, so everything in our world outside of the natural parents is titled Excelsior, and Excelsior means onward and upward. Abbie and I just came up with that little hand phrase. You see it? Did you see that? That worked pretty good.
1, 2, 3, onward and upward.
And so onward and upward, higher and higher is the Excelsior, is a Latin loose translation of that. And for me, it's just always been this mindset of, yeah, like, why not pursue more? And I've always said it this way, not that today's not good enough. It's just that tomorrow we could always be a little better. And so I think my greatest version of quote unquote happiness is in pursuit of my better self, or my full, people will say 10 out of 10 self. The thing Ed was talking about recently that I heard, that he said the most insidious is the word he used. The most insidious form of child neglect is a parent that does not pursue their full potential, or their passions, or their, you know what I'm saying? It's like they see, like, our children are modeling us, right? They model our marriage. They model what, you know, how we interact, how we resolve conflict, how we do all of these things. Don't we want them to see us going after our, you know, greatest version of ourselves? No, I don't want them to be neglected. Obviously, right. I want them to, you know, feel my presence and be loved by me and all that. And that's something I'm always worried I'm not doing enough of at the same time, because that's just parenting, right? Yeah. Like, how do we do that? But I thought that was really interesting, and I just appreciated his perspective on it, because it gave me identity in that sense. So.
Yes. And, you know, it's kind of like the whole thought of parents who say, oh my gosh, I would die for my kids. And then the same follow-up thought is, what would you live for them? Would you eat healthy for them? Would you work out for them? Would you read books? You know, would you do all of these things that better yourself and therefore make you a better person? So yes, you would die for them, but would you live for them? And would you choose health for them? Right.
Which is a very valid and amazing question.
And again, they model everything that you show them. And so if you're taking care of your health and eating well and doing all of that, they will find priority in that, as long as that relationship is healthy.
Right.
as well. And the same is, oh my gosh, I don't want my kids reaching for electronics. What are we doing? What are we modeling? Are we always reaching for our phones, or are we reaching for a book
Right.
to look up and, read in our spare time?
For sure. For sure. How are we scheduling our priorities?
Yes.
Not prioritizing our schedule. Jovi
Yes.
Martin said that on his podcast the other day. I was like, wow, that was really good. We got schedule. You almost have to force your priorities, because everything, there's a law in physics. Sorry, Abbie, getting scientific, but it's entropy. An object left to itself will drift away from order. Like, it'll drift towards chaos. Like, things will become disorderly if left alone. And I think that's our schedules sometimes. But I'm getting down rabbit holes, and I have more questions for you. So quit trying to distract me.
Okay,
so,
here we go.
What is the one thing you wish you could tell yourself? Our daughter's just turned 8. So let's go back 8-9 years ago. What do you wish you could tell yourself in that moment as a young, new parent, or very close to expecting parent? What do you wish you could tell them?
That's a good question. I really am trying to think of an answer. I don't know, because I do feel as though, like, health-wise, I trusted their bodies. I know that a lot of times new parents are learning, and they have so much fear that is sewn into them.
Sure.
I don't feel as though I had that. I felt confident in any little illness, any teething, anything like that. I feel like the number one thing would just be to soak it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, they always say sleep when the baby sleeps. Well, who will do the dishes and all of that? And I am the most type A clean freak that there is.
It's painful, y'all.
You should be able to eat off my floors at all times. But there comes a point where you have to have a little bit of that balance. And just, that's what I've been really focusing on lately. I'm like, oh, that will wait. We just got a dishwasher for the first time in 3 years.
Which is wild.
I hand washed all of our dishes, and I love that. And because I didn't find an issue with that. And then just one day I was like, nope, I'm ready. I'm ready for a dishwasher. We had a hole for one.
I don't want to be at the sink.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want to be at the sink. I want to read books with my kids in the evening, or, we homeschool. So in the morning we do breakfast, and then I'm doing dishes while they're maybe playing or something like that before we start school. And I was like, but I want to be there with them. I want to watch them play. Yeah. I want to see more of them versus just be in my mundane day-to-day task. And so I looked around, I was like, I want a dishwasher, I'm ready. And he's like, let's get it. And so that is just one area that I was able to recognize that was taking up time that I could have delegated to something else washing my dishes for me. And it's beautiful.
These machines are taking all our jobs.
They are robots. But that is definitely just something, just soaking up, writing down all of the amazingness that they are, taking all of the videos and all of the pictures. Like today we watched one, the kids and I, on Time Hop.
Oh yeah.
And it was Bryn, she was mad. She was little. It was 4 years ago. She was mad. And I said, Bryn, why are you mad? And then it zooms over to our wedding picture, and she was mad we didn't invite her to our wedding. I forgot all about that. Awesome. So all of that, just soaking their preciousness up, being their best friend.
Yeah. It's like that. Slow down, be in the moment. It's taken me 8 years, and I had this final revelation the other day that it was like, there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. I've always been, and my heart breaks when I think about how fast time is going with our kids. And so to Ryan, as a new dad 8 years ago, that's probably what I would say is just like, get over it. It's going to fly by. So there's nothing you can do about that. So just soak up every moment that you do have. I can't, moms, dads, if you got to go off to work, you got to, be away from your kids at times. Like, I feel like I was having this conversation with somebody the other day. It's like, it will never be enough. You could spend 24/7 in their presence and be ready to pull your hair out in that moment, be away from them for 5 minutes and be like, oh man, I kind of miss them.
That's me.
And so in that sense, it would never be enough. But the moments that we do get, like, you can't avoid, and I wouldn't want my kids to see me not pursuing my passions, as I've said, the things in the life and the vision that I feel like God's given us for our family. I wouldn't want them to see me not pursuing that. But at the same time, it's like, okay, in those moments that I do have with them, then soak it up, because there's nothing you can do about it. It is going away. Commit every single aspect of it to memory. Just slow down and be in that moment.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
Yeah, I'm glad we do. Glad we see that.
Yeah,
the same way. We could go back and tell our younger selves should listen to this podcast.
They should.
In another timeline, they might just do that. So, all right. So what is better about parenting than you ever expected it would be?
So the kids ask me all of the time, how is love different? Like, how do you love me different than you love dad, different than you love your mom? And I just think that just the love that a parent can have for a kid, you know, for their kid is just unlike anything. You can't even put words to it.
Right.
But I feel like that.
Yeah. It's just that unconditional love piece.
Unconditional, that you would do anything for them. There is nothing that they could do that would make you not love them.
Yeah.
And you just want the absolute best for them.
Yeah. I love that. What's harder than you thought it would be?
Discipline and sticking to your word.
Oh.
Because it's like, gosh, do we do spankings? Do we do what's the other thing called? Gentle parenting?
Right.
Do we do consequences? Like sometimes I'm like, oh, you're gonna get a consequence. And I'm like, please don't ask me what it is. I'm like, or you're gonna lose privileges.
I'm in the background like, what's gonna happen,
yeah,
Mom?
I'm like in my head scrambling for what that's gonna be if they're like, what is it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Is it worth it?
Like,
They're weighing.
yeah.
They're like checking in with the
I feel like that has to be
bank account.
the most challenging of doing enough to guide them, but not enough to crush their spirit. Kind of like how we want our kids to ask for the world. Never stop asking for the world, but like, please don't ask me again for whatever you're asking me for. I said no. Like, where's the balance in that of like, stop asking me for that thing that you're wanting right now because I said no, but like, never stop asking for what you want.
Well, and I think that's something, and we do it. I just realized I do this all the time, and I do it jokingly, and our kids are kind of brush it off or whatever. We're like, no, thanks for asking. Like, Dad, can I have? No, thanks for asking. Like, I am glad that you asked, and I do want you to ask, but it is a no right now. And as you're like, then they fit with the why and all that stuff, and it's like, because I, in this moment, think that's what's best for you. And as your dad, I have to make that decision. And when you're a dad, I always tell the girls, when you're a dad, you can make that decision. They just roll their eyes. They're like, oh, Dad, come on.
You're like, I'm not gonna be a dad.
Yeah.
Jennings, you told him when you're a mom. He goes, wait, I'm not gonna be a mom.
I'm never gonna be a mom. Exactly, bud. Exactly. So yeah, no, I think discipline is the hardest thing. How can, going back, same young, on the verge, or very young children, parents, how do you think the best way to discipline is?
I think not out of anger, for sure, which is hard in the moment. But then if you watch your kids do something out of anger and you're like, you can't act out of anger.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, okay,
yeah.
Noted. I think that there's a lot of different things. So I think making sure that your child knows that you love them.
Sure.
And so within that, I feel as though when you don't act out of anger, don't have that yelling, can't even see straight anger.
Right.
And you can get down on their level and talk to them calmly and discipline them through that so that they know that they are loved, that never changed.
Right.
I think is for sure just a key part in it.
Yes. Well, the Bible talks about that too, right? Like it says, the Lord chastens those which he loves. Like discipline is a part of love. Like we have to do it in a loving fashion. Like I love you so much that I'm not going to let you be like that. And that's a slippery slope. I understand that. It's not like I want you to be like your sister, I want you to be like your brother, or anything like that. It's just like there's a standard to who we are in Christ. There's a standard to who we are as Hewkins. There's a standard in this household that we're going to uphold. And I've set that clear boundary. I think if the best, and kids are going to push the limits on that and see how far they can go all the time. Right. But like knowing that this is all coming from a loving place, I think that is probably the most important thing you could ever do.
As parents, we love finding natural ways for our family to feel their best, and that is why we chose Llama. They make genuine Baltic amber jewelry for both kids and adults, known for its soothing and grounding properties. For little ones, it's a beautiful natural option to help with teething and inflammation, and for adults, it can help ease tension and bring a sense of calm throughout the day. Each piece is handcrafted from authentic Baltic amber. It's never plastic, never imitation, just simple, natural comfort that fits your lifestyle. Check out the link in our description to shop Llama, natural comfort for the whole family.
This is hot take time. So this is where it could get a little spicy, but what do you think that modern parenting gets wrong? What do you see the most of in the parenting world that you wish you wouldn't?
Oh, this makes me uncomfortable.
Yep. She's sweating, y'all.
I am really starting to sweat now. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
You're not going to hurt their feelings.
Okay.
And if you do, that's a them problem.
Okay.
Lovingly,
I think electronics and overbusy schedules.
Yeah. So talk to me more about that.
I think electronics, sometimes people do it to pacify their children.
Yeah.
Some people do it because other kids have it.
Sure.
And I just don't think that kids should have access. I mean, look at, if you can, okay, us adults with phones, there's an addiction. And it has given me a whole new perspective on things like drug addiction, alcohol, anything like that. You know, you always think, oh my gosh, they just choose to do it. Right. Okay, you tell me that you cannot reach for your phone and hit whatever social media, whatever email, whatever calendar, whatever anything.
Sure.
Tell me that you can do that.
Yeah.
No, it's the same. And I think that when we are starting, children's brains are like sponges. And when we are starting that earlier, that is only going to perpetuate to be a bigger issue down the road, but also their memory, their absorption. I look at people, there's studies that show the memory capacity of somebody who is constantly scrolling, constantly getting new information that they are not even retaining, just new information. Their memory declines.
Right.
And so what are these children's memory going to be?
Right.
But also, you don't need to be entertained. Right. You know how much greatness comes out of boredom?
Isn't there a book?
Lot.
Like The Power of Bored or something like that?
I think
like
there is.
Bored or something. I haven't read it yet, but I've heard that concept. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. And I really think that we are not doing, we've talked about it before. People are like, well, kids need to know how to use electronics. That's the way of the world. All right.
Sure.
Is your kid on Word? Is your kid on Excel? Nope.
I've heard it 1,000 times. Steve Jobs, they asked, what does your kid think of the iPad? And he's like, doesn't have one.
Yeah.
And then I've heard that verified. I don't think that's just, softball tosses out there. I think that's a verified thing. Don't quote me on it, but I've heard that.
Yes, I've heard that too, that a lot of the
bigger creators,
they're like, oh, we would never give our kids that.
Yeah, it's not for them.
And another thing that really aggravates me while we're on the topic is when you go to a restaurant and they have those little game things, nasty, germy game things. I cannot stand them. They're always greasy with fingerprints. Kind of makes me but I cannot stand those.
Right. Like,
it's
why
like
do we?
Shiny object. Of course,
Sure.
any kid wants to play on those, but
Sure.
we're trying to have a nice family dinner.
Sure.
So yeah, that.
Well, and I think this is very relevant, and I'm glad that you're sharing this in authenticity, because if you guys hear Abbie say that and you don't, and you feel condemned, like, don't. It might be convicting. You might feel convicted, and I hope you do. But like, her heart in this and our heart in this whole platform of having a podcast at all is just to help people. And that's our perspective. And I think it's your perspective. I think it's a really good one. Thank you. What's the other one you said? So tech and busy schedules.
Busy schedules.
All right. Talk to me about busy schedules.
It's a hard one too.
Right.
Because I just feel as though schedules are busier and busier for kids, as if they are like, I don't even know, New York CEOs. That's what comes to my mind.
Sure, yeah.
They are.
If the calendar's not full, what are you doing?
Yes, 5 days a week in public school, after school practices every night of the week for maybe 2 sports. Some do.
Some more than that.
Tournaments every single weekend, all weekend, travel wherever.
Right.
It's just, I feel as though it's just gotten out of hand. And yes, sports are important. They build a lot of great qualities. I won't neglect to recognize that.
Right.
However, what are we missing out on the home life? There's good influences in sports, but there's also not.
Really bad ones.
And are we losing control? Are we losing the balance of home, good values, slow togetherness, traded for game after game after game after game? And I just think it's gotten out of hand. I feel as though every sport is like, well, if we could get them younger and playing more, then we could get them better by the time they're in high school.
Right.
And then it just kind of perpetuates. And
well, I think it's sports, but it's activities in general. It's any and all things. I've even heard this said in the book we've referenced before, that there is the ruthless elimination of hurry.
Yeah.
John Mark Comer, I think, is the guy who wrote that. I think that's his name. forgive me if I'm wrong, but the ruthless elimination of hurt, he talks about that. Like we even see this in the church environment where pastors are getting so burnt out because a very good and righteous thing, sports, activities, piano, violin, music lessons, swimming, like all football, baseball, soccer, all of these things are happening. And it's just chalking the schedule so full that the family is just divided. And at the end of the day, that for me is like my greatest passion of this platform is helping families put Christ in the center of their home and make their schedules not so hectic. Like the family is God's original creation for his ideal kingdom to be brought through in this world. And it's like, why are we stretching it so thin?
Right.
So I hear you. I'm with you. I agree with you.
Thank
I think
you.
those are two really good
and
ones.
again,
So.
please, I hope it does not offend anybody.
Well, I hope it's not. I hope you're not offended, but I do hope you're convicted.
Did you know that we spend about a third of our lives in bed? That's over 8 hours a day that our body should be resting, healing, and restoring. But did you ever stop to think about what we're breathing in during that time? Most mattresses today are made with synthetic foams, flame retardants, and chemicals that release toxins into the air, especially while we sleep. That's why we made the switch to My Green Mattress, made with only clean, organic materials. There's no chemical smell, no off-gassing, just a pure supportive mattress that helps your body truly rest and recover the way it was designed to. As a family, that peace of mind is worth everything. If you want to create a healthier home from the inside out, go check out the link in our description. You'll see exactly why we love our green mattress and why we'll never go back.
So if that's convicting you and you feel, well, gosh, we have 14 practices this weekend and 12 games and a million different activities, we're in your corner. Like that's what we want this community to be about, is people that stand up, come together and say, hey, we want to make family first. We want to help people set healthy boundaries around, no, we have dinner as a family on Friday nights, or we go to church on Sundays. We cannot go to practice at 10 a.m. on Sunday morning. Like we won't make it. No is a complete sentence.
Yes.
You can do that, parents. We're here for you. We're in your corner for sure. Tell coach to call me. Give my number out. 555. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah. So, all right. What about hard decisions? How do you feel like we as a couple make difficult decisions together? And do we do a good job of it?
I think so. I think we've done an all right job.
Do you think we have a process?
Give me an example of a hard decision.
Do we put our kids in public school or homeschool?
Well, that was an easy one. Give me another example.
It's not easy for everyone else.
No. Okay. You're right. Well, I think weighing the pros and cons for sure.
Yeah.
Making sure that you're looking at the benefits and what's affected and what your routine would look like, but then also just being decisive in the decision that you make.
Right.
And you could even set guidelines of, okay, if these things are happening, we need to reconsider, take a little pause, and reevaluate our decision.
For sure. What about like a big financial commitment? Do we buy this car that I really want, but have to, take a really high interest loan on to get? But I could afford the monthly payments.
No.
Yeah, but like that's another one. That's difficult.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, but it's a no.
Okay, so it's easy. We just do whatever Abbie says. Kind of.
Oh.
I mean, kind of.
Okay, maybe a little
I'm
bit.
not mad about it.
If I want to buy a car, it's a yes, because I've already thought through a million situations and scenarios and ran all of the numbers. If Ryan wants one, I'm going to need a PowerPoint
presentation. Bring 10 points as to how and why it benefits us as a family, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. But really, I think that...
Well, you're the saver. I'm the spender. Mm-hmm. You are also you manage the books. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do that. You're very much so inclined to that. We combine, everything goes into one pot. Mm-hmm. And what about that? Did we come to that decision? I think it just happened.
Yeah. What?
That we just combined bank accounts. Like,
oh, when we got married?
Right.
Yes.
So again, take it back. Pretend it's not us. Pretend it's a new couple that's getting married. Do you do that? Do you combine your finances?
Yes, and I really feel as though if you don't, you need to ask yourself, are you hiding something? Or are you not trusting the other person?
Where your treasure is, your heart will be also. So
I've talked to a few people, honestly, quite a few, who have gotten married and they're like, no, we don't do bank accounts together. I'm like, why? Well, I don't want them to know that I buy this, and I'm not so sure that they're not going to leave. But we got married,
Right.
you know?
It's
And
really
so I
weird.
think that sometimes whenever those conversations are difficult, they should really be had before you ever got married, because if there's trust issues there on either side with either way.
Sure. I think that's, again, it's easy because it's our life, but I think we also we're on the same page, fortunately, but I know other people aren't. And so
we don't
to that,
we don't make financial decisions without one another.
Sure. Of sizable amounts.
If it's like $100, whatever.
Sure. But if it's a larger financial commitment, that's something to be discussed. And I think you just have to have parameters around that. Like, that's something, right, that I think is like, have a number.
Yeah.
Roughly. That's what I was thinking about, $150. It's just like, we're just rolling with this.
Yeah.
see what she says. The other day at Target, put something in the cart. Truly, I actually did try to sneak it into the cart. And we get to there, and it's like $30. And Ab's like, why do you need that? It's like, because I want it. That's why.
He was like, it's just because. It was a notebook.
I didn't need to ask your approval if I could buy this notebook.
It was a notebook. I was like, but I thought you liked the Walmart ones that came in a 3-pack for $5. And he's like, this one's just better, all right? It's just better, and it's thicker, and it holds my, I don't even know. But I mean, he was ready. I was just like, what is that?
Yeah. No, you're super like, why do you need that? I tried to be
kind.
Yeah. Like, quit being passive.
And you can buy whatever you want. It's not like I'm just like, but why? I thought I could do that three-pack value pack at Walmart.
I did not bring my PowerPoint presentation to Target when I dropped that.
He was ready, though. He knew. They're sturdier. Yep. Better pages.
Yep.
I like to write my thank you notes on it.
I do.
High quality.
You guys, if you get a thank you note from me, you're going to appreciate it.
That paper cost.
Came out of a good notebook. So, no, well, I think it's good. So, okay. Last one, you touched on this, like homeschool. Talk to me. What's the best thing about homeschooling?
Oh, the best thing I feel like is seeing your kids learn something. I was just talking to my best friend the other day, and my other one. And
I'm not offended.
No, I really was talking to you about it too, but my friend that homeschools, and I was just like, what age did your kids read at? I feel like we're like there, like we know some words, but then we sit down and we try to flow, and she's like, oh, one day it'll just click. And it was like I went home that night and sat down and had them read to, and they was just flowing. And I called her, like, it clicked. It just, I'm like, and so I just feel like watching them learn things and telling them, like, explaining to them that they need to believe in themselves. And then when they do, seeing that happen, and they're just so proud of themselves, it is just so fun. And it's fun when they think that I come up with cool lessons. Yeah. And they think I'm pretty cool.
They got a cool teacher.
Yeah.
I kind of dig their teacher.
Yeah. You should get And I just feel like just being able to be with them.
Yeah.
And know what they've learned.
Sure.
So that you can incorporate it into everyday life. When you go to the store, depending on the age, either find me these letters on the things on the shelves, or let's add up to see how much money we're going to spend, or just something along those lines.
Totally. What is the hardest thing, or what's the worst? What's the con of homeschooling?
I feel like the hardest thing is knowing if you're doing enough or doing the right things.
So just the mindset as around a mom teaching.
Yes, because if you, like, I've been on so many blogs, and there's a million ways to do things. There's a million curriculums, and you are just always trying to make sure that you are doing the right one, because I do different than my friends do. We have a lot of friends at homeschool, and I'm like, right? Like, this is the best fit for us, right? Sure. It's working. They're learning. They're, all of these things are happening, but we don't have this and we aren't doing that. Is that right? And just knowing that you're on the right course and your kids are excelling and that you're not missing anything, I feel is the hardest part of parenting in general. Yeah. But especially with their education, is just staying on top, looking for cool, different ways to do things and make them excited.
Just feeling adequate and all of that. I've said it to you before. I've told other moms, because somebody spoke this over it wasn't you. It was a woman in our Bible study group. And it was like, there's no one, a gentleman said this to another mom. So there's no one more qualified on this planet to teach your child than you. Mm-hmm. Like, I love teachers. I'm so grateful for teachers and all the children that we have that do teach. Like, that's amazing and they are so qualified. They have the degree, they learned the process, all this kind of stuff. But like a parent, God trusted you as a parent with your child. So I promise you, he can trust you with their education. Invest yourself into it, pray about it, consider what, just like you're saying, find other people, bounce curriculum ideas around, but know that you are not dooming your child should you choose to homeschool them. So
and
I love that.
And it's not like it's the teachers of why it's the system as a whole.
Right.
And I think that when you start your homeschool journey and just throughout, you need to surround yourself with other homeschoolers. So whether that's in a co-op or whether you're fortunate enough to have all of your friends doing it. I have friends that have done it. They have kids in college,
Sure.
And the seasoned homeschool mom is such a great, valuable friendship to have because of the times you're like, am I even doing this? Like imposter syndrome comes in strong. And then I don't have this myself, but I know that other people do. They have the in-laws or the grandparents or the whatever in their ears like, well, you shouldn't do that. You could never teach them,
right.
And that kind of stuff. You have to be ready for that because that would get to anybody.
Totally. So what do you think, and that might be it, but what do you think the greatest or biggest misunderstanding is around homeschooling for moms that or dads and parents that would be considering it?
I think I have heard oftentimes like people don't realize that there are curriculums to do homeschool and a ton of them and accredited. I have had people who weren't familiar with homeschool ask me, well, like who regulates the curriculum? Yeah. I'm like, I'm not just like printing off Pinterest, like, just winging it. They are accredited curriculums. You can look into them. You could, there's hard things that you could do. And depending on what state you live in, there may be even tests that your child does at certain points to make sure that they are on track. But in reality, no child learns at the same rate as others. Yeah. And, there's people that I know who never learned to read till they were 12. Yeah. But they could do math like it was nobody's business, just different things and just allowing that to be.
I love it. All right. So we'll end the same way we started. If there's anything that you could tell brand new mom, Abbie, 24, 5 years old, about to have her kids, what would you tell them?
Believe in yourself and believe in the ability to find the best solution for that time and allow it to change and evolve as it goes on.
I love that. There you have it, y'all. I told you, she's an absolute wealth of knowledge. She has so much more in there than she even was able to share today. So if you liked this episode, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, share it, let other people know, and come back next week for another fresh episode where just maybe Abbie will interview me and see if there's anything in my noggin worth sharing. So thanks, y'all. Stay blessed. See you at the top.
From the bottom of our hearts, we want to say thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share it with someone you know and leave a review. By doing so, we're able to grow this community of amazing people just like you and raise a generation of children that know God and do His will on earth. We'll see you next time.
This is the Natural Parents Podcast with Ryan and Abbie Hewkin.